Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Real Talk. I'm
Real Talk.
David Thomas. This is Mr. Bo Gill.
Hello,
We're
folks.
sitting down and going to talk about a couple of topics that have come up. And before we do, let's hear from Norris Plumbing, our sponsor here on Real Talk. We'll be back in just a few minutes after we hear from Norris.
Norris Plumbing, your go-to source for licensed and insured plumbing services. Hour emergency services when you need it. Norris Plumbing, call us at 931-703-5915.
All righty, welcome back in here to Real Talk, Bo. I know that you have been a participant of this, but schools are getting started tomorrow. It's the first day. It goes, 2 hours?
Yeah, very abbreviated day.
All right, we're going to talk about that, but you had a open house day today. There were some open house days yesterday, some today.
Yes.
So we've got school starting in 2 hours. Now, this happened when I was in school. It happened when you was in school. What's the point of going to school for 2 hours and then turn around going home? What is that?
The only thing I can figure out is kind of like when you're going into the pool and you dip your feet in just to test and see how cool it is, and you pull right back. Sometimes it's better just to jump all the way in.
I wonder if that day counts toward a school day. I'd say it does.
Yeah, I'd say that they do the rollover. If you showed up, then we're going to count it.
So they're going through the motions probably for the logistics, getting the car riders and the drivers in the building, let them sit down, and then go and then turn around and get them out and go again, just a routine.
And a lot of them know the school. My daughter, as a matter of fact, this is her first year in high school, so she doesn't know things much. So she's going to really need to hopefully use those 2 hours learning the school, which it'll take a little while, but no, it's kind of redundant. But it is kind of a way to say, hey, they've been sleeping in all summer, David. I mean,
really?
Yeah, that's what I hear. The kids sleep in a little bit, but they've got to get used to this schedule.
Okay, so they do that, and then next week full schedule starts.
Full schedule starts, and then just when they're getting ready, and just the minds are really ready to learn, we've got the celebration break.
Okay, so here's the question I want to ask, and this is something I've been meaning to ask, and it was debated about 7 or 8 years ago, or maybe 10 years, of like, why are we closing schools during the horse show now? Yeah. I mean, it's not like everybody's leaving town. No. There's a few people do take a break and leave town.
Well, there was a time, right?
But there was a time where the whole town basically had guests in their homes.
Yes,
that ain't happening now.
It's not, but it is still I would argue a celebration. No pun intended, for Shelbyville. Other counties, they get out for fairs. I know Lincoln County gets out for their fair.
A week?
Coffee County, they get a whole week out.
They still do.
So maybe if they decide to shut down the celebration, then we'd have to move our fair to the fall and get them a week off. They're going to love that week. But no,
I'm just wondering what people out there think about that. I know that there's some people that have moved here in recent years. They said, why are we closing schools for a horse show?
No.
Well, it was tradition.
It was.
So, I mean, I don't know if there's any practicality to it other than it's tradition, and that's just what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And even if we don't have a horse show, we probably will close for the horse show.
Well, I think also that we still do have a lot of people that live here that work the horse show during that time and are doing maybe an extra job or something, and I hope that there's more participation from the citizens. That's something that we all can still come around on. It's the celebration. I don't know a lot about horses, but I like the camaraderie of the celebration and the walking horse show that we have every year. But it is, there are a lot of people that sell things there. They do different activities, security, whatever, ushers. So it's kind of a time for Shelbyville to kind of shut down a little bit again, and then for schools and for a lot of things. But it's no way like it was back in the heydays.
No, I mean, the place was full over there all the time. Yeah. Of course, it is what it is now. Yeah. Speaking of the horse show, the walking horse industry lost the icon this week.
Sure
Mr.
did.
Jimmy McConnell.
Oh man,
a trainer that's he resides here in Shelbyville now. He's from West Tennessee, Union City. He and his brother had trained horses for years and years and years. They were brought up in it. He's won many World Grand Championships here.
An ultimate showman, I might say. He could really put on a show. I'll never forget the last I think the big celebration, the Saturday night where he pulled back and went around again, right whenever all the other horses. Look, he's a pure showman. Everybody loved him. Everybody respected him. They've lost an icon.
Yeah, so he's one of the guys that basically he was there in the heydays when things were going the best back in the 70s and the 80s and 90s. And then I mean, he's been doing this thing for probably 55 years, his whole life.
On the announcer said his name every night.
Yeah.
You always heard McConnell.
Yeah.
McConnell. Rest in peace, brother. Definitely one we hate to lose.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Of other local note, I think we're going to get some cooler weather coming in, just about a few degrees, and maybe some relief from the humidity.
Yes.
So hopefully that we're probably going to get some showers through the weekend, and hopefully we'll get this hot air out here. I know it would be better for our football teams practicing and kids getting out going to school. The heat's been rough the past 2 weeks.
It's awful. It's overbearing. It's quite just dangerous. There's been a lot of health. I'm sure the emergency workers here in Bedford County have been covered up just for people going outside that aren't used to it. You've got to acclimate yourself to this. But I'm so glad that, a temperature drop is one thing, but a humidity drop is a whole. It's crystal clear around here. So bring it on.
All right. So we got some other news as it relates to education here in Bedford County. TCAT will be open for business.
Yes, they will.
Soon.
That was announcement made by State Rep Pat Marsh earlier this week at the Chamber of Lunch.
I think we already knew that.
I think we knew, but I think that it is ahead of schedule. I was talking to a few people. Maybe they that was their original, but whatever it is, it was an exciting announcement that apparently they're going to be done a little sooner than normal. It looks like a nice building
to me. TCAT, which is the state of Tennessee, pulled this off. I mean, it's not the county school system; it's a state.
This is
school.
a Bill Lee baby. He did this.
All right, so if you look at the workforce conditions in the United States right now, and with the tariff thing that's kicking into gear, all these trade wars, it's a trade nuclear war is what's going on. Our workforce has got to be built up if we're going to try to start manufacturing. And a lot of these TCAT training courses, there's going to be a lot of technology stuff being done, a lot of trades that will be taught, welding and who knows
drafting,
what else. Yeah, the whole ball of wax. And you've got this available here in Bedford County. I would like to assume that because this school is being built and the place will fill up with students that are learning a trade.
Yes.
And then they come out. And you listen to Mike Rowe. Mm-hmm. He's a big proponent of the technical side of schooling. He thinks that college is not for everybody. I would say
he's right.
That 65% of the kids that graduate from high school this year and this past year have a better opportunity going down a path like the technical college versus going to a regular academic college where they spend 4 years and get in debt for the rest of their lives.
Exactly.
I mean, I've talked to people my age, Bo, that are still paying on their college debt, mm-hmm. on their student loans.
Yes.
What kind of scam was that?
Yeah, that's all that was. And a lot of them, maybe it paid off for, but look, the working man was going to get paid. He can come right out of high school, be a plumber, be a good moral businessman, and just succeed like there's no other. Look, we're lacking in the more people we have here in this area, the more plumbers you need, the more trades, the more electricians, all of these things. And the Tennessee Tech College is going to provide that. It's going to be a larger, nicer facility. I go by the existing one on Madison Street every day, and it's blowing and going. I mean, this thing is really a big thing.
I tell you, but here's one thing too to think about, Bo. Most successful business people that I know in Bedford County don't have a college education. They got out and worked and built what they've got. Now they have college students working for them.
That's exactly
some of the most successful business people right today.
Yes.
That are alive in this county.
Yes.
that are supplying jobs.
Yes.
To this county don't have a college education.
Look.
What does that say?
It says exactly what we're talking about. Is that college ain't for everybody, and you can succeed without college. But look, let's don't get anything confused. College is a great thing where you can get some great life skills and such, but it's just plain and simple, not like it used to be. Used to, it seemed like you got out of college in the 70s and 80s and you went up here. Now you come with the debt. and then nobody's hiring. It's hard to get a job.
Yeah,
But
you're
if you've got a,
overqualified for the job.
yeah, and if you've got a skill that is in demand,
Hey,
hey,
you can name your ticket.
you sure can. It's really good. I'm really happy that school is coming. It looks nice. The question is, I think that they're moving in the old school, in the current tech center. They're going to move the school offices, I believe. And
Yeah.
then the question is, well, where do they do with the old Madison Street School, which that's
Yeah.
what I've always called. Hey, it looks like it's a great building. It's been taken care of. I'm looking forward to the Tennessee Tech Center looking a little bit, getting the old one getting a little facelift.
Yeah,
probably.
that's probably to come. It's probably going to cost us a lot of money.
It will. It's going to cost me and you a lot of money, and then we'll talk about that when that time comes.
Yeah.
But right now, we've
All
got.
right. Speaking of building, Elon Musk has got his big project. His 10-mile tunnel. They're going to dig from the airport to the Music City Center.
Oh
Okay?
yeah, the tunnel.
It's 10 miles. He's going to do it through private funding. The question is, all right, so it's going to help traffic, they say.
They say.
What's in it for him, Bo?
Well, I've heard some things, because when you do anything, there's always a reaction, right? Well, there's always a reason why. And speculation is, Elon is heavy involved in space and Mars exploration. And
But we ain't got off the planet to go to Mars.
I agree, but he's one this is just what I hear and what people are speculating that he's preparing, and kind of experimenting, which I guess they already know a few things about the similar surfaces that Mars has and Earth, and that he's seeing, what he can do. Now, look, this is not just an experiment like we're a bunch of guinea pigs and then it's not going to work. This would be something that he has already built. He has already built one of these in Nevada. It's not quite as long. It's a boring process that is very it's high tech stuff.
Yeah, the name of his company is the Boring Company.
Boring Company, which is
all right. So that's kind of
it's a play on words, but no, look, we listened to the CEO of the Nashville International Airport talk. This has been earlier this year. He says that they handle, it's like the equivalent of 3 to 4 Titans games every day. They handle, which is 78,000 people times 3.
Yeah.
They're running. They've got a lot going on now. Is it enough for this? I don't know.
They're going to have Tesla electric cars flying through that thing going 150 miles an hour. Now, do you want to get on a Tesla self-driven vehicle going 150 miles an hour under the ground
in a tunnel? No, I don't.
I don't think
I'm
so.
out. I'm going to let them run that.
What does everybody think about Elon's project here? All right, so the mayor of Nashville, which of course is a Democrat, he thinks that Elon's up to no good just because he was on Trump's side. I don't know what side.
Or is he?
I don't know where Elon is now. I don't know what he is. I don't think he knows what he is. He's trying to figure that out.
Yeah, yes.
But he is an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And there's something in this for him or he wouldn't be doing it. All right.
Yes.
Speaking of building, this is the one that just scalds my hind end, Bilbo. And it's scalding right now.
Uh-oh.
Trump announced that we're going to build a $200 million ballroom at the White House. And we got people on the streets starving.
Yeah.
We're going to build a ballroom and make the swamp a place to have a party.
Yeah.
Now, we're supposed to be draining the swamp and cutting spending, and we're building $200 million ballrooms.
No, I'm not for that, but I did mention earlier when we talked about this, I'm just kind of glad he didn't build a skyscraper because we knew he was going to put gold on something or make something. But no, to get serious, we don't need a
we're talking about
ballroom.
Taxpayer money here.
Yeah, that's real taxpayer money. And look, I'm sure that they have a place to entertain, but look, this is just another.
Why do they need to entertain?
Right. I mean, would this be a good idea if Joe Biden did this?
They need to quit having parties and get to work.
That's what I think.
Okay, that's me.
And look, President Trump's doing a lot, but we don't need. And how much did they say this ballroom?
$200 million.
$200 million for a ballroom.
And he's fussing at Powell for building a wing to the U.S. Treasury over there. I get it, but all of them are idiots. All right, they go up there and they lose their dadgum mind.
They do, and look, the promises will happen, and that they won't tell the truth. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care who it is. They are human beings, y'all. Let's remember. Let's don't get caught up on the personality. Trump's done a lot. We love Trump. Go Trump, right? But do we really need this?
But this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm with you, David. I don't know.
I know the place you want it to be prestigious, but it's prestigious enough. Yeah. Let's get some work done.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I mean,
and as a conservative, and if you want to take all the stance serious in how I feel, that's how you have to feel.
It's hard for me to take anybody serious that says they're going to balance the budget and try to cut spending when they're spending $200 million to build a room. Yeah. I'm just being real here. Yeah. This is real talk,
no,
right?
This is real talk.
I mean, like my hind end's still scalding, Bo. You ain't helped me out none here.
I'll get you an ice bucket. How about that?
I'm going to ask everybody out there, do y'all think we should spend $200 million to build a ballroom at the White House when we have people starving to death on North Main Street out here?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
And I'm not saying that the federal government should feed everybody on the planet. They shouldn't. But if we've got money to spend on a ballroom, we got some funds that could come down here and help.
Yes, we do. All
right.
I think the last thing you want in an era of a presidency where you're talking about cuts and draining and getting back, that's the last thing you need.
I was hopeful. I was really hopeful. I felt like that in Trump's first term, COVID kind of just cut it in half and messed things up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, there was a lot of good things that were going on. The economy seemed to be doing good.
Momentum was going.
And then COVID, and everybody lost their mind for like 4 years. Half of Biden's Trump, half of Trump's term. Yeah. But I thought when Trump got into office that he was really going to like cut spending. We got our taxes cut, but you got to cut spending too, and somebody's going to have to sacrifice. $200 million ballroom ain't sacrificing, Bo. I'm sorry. No. I'm not going to get off this.
No, and we need to stay on this. But, you know,
I mean, they don't listen to us, Bo, but it makes me feel better.
It's definitely. And if you're out there and you feel better, good. Because we
But
are
see,
here's
the thing about it. I said this the other day, and I'm going to say it again. You can be a Trump supporter and still have your hind end scalded on some things that he's doing.
No doubt.
All right, okay? This is one of them.
Yes.
Another one.
Yes.
The Epstein files not being released. That's another one. These tariffs is another one. Okay. Southern border, good thing. How he's going to handle the Iranian situation going forward, that remains to be seen. How he handles the Ukraine-Russian thing, that remains to be seen. But it sounds like that he's going to lob some financial bombs at Russia. And I just wonder how Putin's going to respond to that. Is that going to be one of those things that's going to backfire and make me mad?
It very well could, and you talk about other positives, and as far as America and back to an American mindset and a non-liberal mindset, Trump has paved the way for us to move, like the boys and girls bathrooms and all this.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
that's all nonsense.
But we needed somebody.
What he did, Bo, he came in and he grabbed the liberals and those that were going along with it, and he shook them real hard and said, "Wake up!"
Yeah.
Okay,
that's right.
And a lot of them woke up.
Yep.
You see some of the Democrats going, "Oh, what was that we just went through?"
Yeah, exactly.
You see some of them now starting to come around on that stuff.
You do. You actually do, and that right there is a testament to it. But it doesn't mean that he is not worthy of having some criticism, right? We talked about criticism and what criticism means. It's a critic. It's breaking down, something what you're doing. In a way, it's not necessarily negative. There can be positive criticism, but you've got to be a critic. You cannot fall victim to the king mentality.
Somebody watched one of our videos the other day, and they said, "I thought you was MAGA." I said, "I am." That means Make America Great Again. Yes. That's what MAGA stands for.
Thank you.
Whoever can get that done, that's who I'm for.
Yes, it doesn't.
Okay?
It isn't.
And it's not necessarily mean that that's Donald Trump. Right now, $200 million ballroom. Is that making America great again?
And remember,
I don't think so.
No, sir, it's not. And remember, the presidency's limited. There's in 2028, it's time again, and Trump will be gone then and won't be able to run again. So MAGA will still be alive. You still want to make
who is going to take the MAGA banner? Will it still be a thing? Will people think that it's possible to make America great again by the time we get to 2028? Well, I'm wondering about that.
Right now it's hard to see because we're right in the middle of it. But and financially and other things that we might say are negatives against positives. But I'm going to let the man have his presidency and watch back. But I'm going to criticize and I'm going to celebrate along with
whatever it happens. So
yeah, but
that's the one thing that just really has got on my nerves.
Yeah, but you can't
today.
It does
hearing about it.
Yeah, but you cannot. When you're out there, you cannot get lost in a person. We've mentioned this many, many times. Don't sell yourself just because of the fact of a person. Well, I don't want to go against Trump.
When Trump was in the street in his first term, walking to that church, I think that's where he's turned and said, he goes, I could shoot 50 people with a machine gun out here and my followers would still follow me. That's where he's wrong.
Yeah, no, that's
I don't know exactly what he said.
Yeah.
That he was talking about how loyal people are.
Yeah.
You can't cross the line of giving up your principles just to follow somebody and be brainwashed. That's like what the Democrats do.
Yeah.
That's groupthink. We want people
Accountable.
critical thinking,
Yes.
thinking for themselves, individual thinking, individual rights, individual thoughts. That's
exactly
what I think conservatism is.
That's exactly what it is. It's not just a money thing and save money. A lot of people go to that. It is an ideal
right.
of a preservation of a certain morality, of a certain way of life.
I want to end on this. I heard Tulsi Gabbard give a little speech a couple weeks ago. She was at that conservative thing down in Florida. What is it, TPAC or whatever it is for the kids, for the college kids. And she kept referring to our country as the republic, a republic. She never once said democracy. The next person that says we live in a democracy, I just want to shake them. It drives me insane. People don't even know. And we got people in our teachers in our schools that are teaching that we don't live in a democracy. Or are they? I mean, you look at the books, it says a constitutional republic with a democratic election process.
Yes, no, they're speaking.
Every politician in Washington, D.C. says we live in a democracy. They shouldn't even be elected if they don't know what we live.
They're not even reading the Constitution. They're going off what they hear. And that's sad because that's wrong. I mean, we know that they don't go by the Constitution, and most lawyers, they don't practice, they practice a different type of law, not constitutional
The difference between, we have a Constitution that protects individual rights.
Yes.
Not groups.
No.
But individuals' rights.
Yes.
And we have those laid out. In a democracy, it's the mob rules.
Yes.
You don't have individual rights. You have mob rights. Okay.
And I know that she had replies back to her that said, this lady is so dumb. This is a democracy. And that's where
stupid. Every democracy that's been put out there has failed.
Yes.
What about the one in South America? What's the name of that country? Venezuela went away.
Just remember this, y'all. When you pledge allegiance to the flag, you're pledging allegiance to the flag
and to the republic,
for which it stands.
It's a republic.
That's right.
All right, we're going to end on that.
We'll end on that. That's a good ending.
Pray for the republic.
Pray for the republic.
That's right. See you guys next time. Have a great day.